Now, though, holiday let owners in Cornwall are being urged to help provide emergency accommodation to some of the county's care workers during the coronavirus crisis. A new hub has been set up by the Cornish charity Cornwall Hugs, which was established to provide respite breaks for the survivors and bereaved families from the Grenfell Tower fire. Well, its founder, Esme Page, is now working with Cornwall Council, Visit Cornwall and Volunteer Cornwall to match vacant accommodation to care workers who need to isolate away from their families. So I caught up with Esme a short time ago to find out more.
Yeah, thank you, Donna. It's lovely to talk with you again. Well, it really come out of care workers coming to us at Cornwall Hugs in desperate circumstances and saying, can you help us? I guess knowing that we've helped people marry up, if you like, holiday let accommodation with people in need before. We had one care worker come, she was 28, she was sleeping in the back of her car rather than risk infecting her mum who had underlying health conditions. And, you know, I mean, that was just desperate. We put out a shout on Facebook and it clearly, I mean, it broke my heart. It clearly broke lots of people's heart. We had about 20 offers straight away and managed to get her into a safe, warm flat in Penzance that very day. And it just got us thinking, and, you know, it's kind of use what you have in your hand. I think someone once said that to me, use what you have in your hand. And in our hand at Cornwall Hugs, we have the systems, we have that experience of calling out to holiday let owners and of then marrying up accommodation with people who need it. And the response is just so warm, and many holiday let owners are in such a difficult position, and yet I'm so astonished at the way they want to help. You know, one has contacted me just this morning saying, you know, I've offered my place, but no one has taken it. I'm so glad to offer it through this scheme because care workers really need it. And it's empty. I just want it used.
It's a great idea. It really is. It's offering emergency temporary accommodation for care workers who can't necessarily go home because they're worried about a family member or a vulnerable person they're living with, and they've been working in an environment which possibly is an infectious environment.
That's exactly it. And, you know, there are over 15,500 care workers in Cornwall. I feel that they're kind of the unseen heroes. They're just as much on the front line. And in some ways as well, we're hoping that this is going to raise that profile of the work that they do, and be able to help them in this, because, you know, they're risking themselves on the front line and we don't want them to have to risk their families.
It's about care workers, isn't it? Not about NHS workers, and there's a reason for that.
Yes, there is. And of course, we really value the NHS workers, but for the care workers, there is no provision there when they need to self-isolate. So there isn't a daily rate they can tap into or a system. And that's why we want to really champion them and bring this together, a central place where accommodation providers can offer and care workers can register their need, because they're on the front line. And I think that really they're some of the unseen heroes of the hour.
So you're working with other partners, aren't you? Volunteer Cornwall, Visit Cornwall, Cornwall Council, I believe, to offer,
that's right,
yeah, to create some sort of hub whereby people who have empty holiday accommodation can offer their accommodation, and you match the accommodation with the care worker.
Yeah, so it's already there. It went live yesterday, cornwallhugs.org, and simple button to register accommodation and a simple button to register a need if you're a care worker. And this is something really important, because those care workers that came to us, they didn't know where to go. And if you're in that stressful position that you quickly need to find emergency accommodation, having to hunt around different places, different sites, is trying to find something is really stressful. So this is going to be a one central place. And it's really important. Accommodation providers, they can offer it for free, they can offer it at cost, say cleaning or laundry, and they can offer it for a reduced rent. So they can choose. And at any time that we contact them with a need from a care worker, they can also say, actually, no, it's full now, or it's not, you know, it's not available. So there's a lot of choice in there, and I want it to be a really respectful process for everybody involved and really efficient.
That's wonderful. And presumably time limits, they can offer it for a week, 2 weeks, however long they can, presumably.
Exactly. And, it's I think this is a call to action. I mean, all of us can take an action, and people are doing amazing things all over the county. And lots of people have already offered their accommodation to the NHS. But we really want to bring attention onto the care workers and what they're having to deal with. The number of cases in care homes is rising all the time. That's where it's accelerating, in fact, across the UK. And they're doing all they can to keep those places safe. But care workers are often exposed. And so this is one way that people can step forward. And if they don't have a holiday let, they could share and let other people know about it. We've also got a Just Giving page, Cornwall Hugs Care Workers, which will help cover some of the costs associated with this. So I think it'll be a real Team Cornwall effort, a real Dunkirk spirit. I think that's appropriate for this weekend, isn't it? In a way,
yes, it really is.
Really want the little guys, but also the bigger resorts to come forward and really affirm we're behind you. We stand with you, care workers. I think Cornwall was very proud of what it did for Grenfell, and I think now we hugged Grenfell. Now it's time to really hug these care workers and stand with them and really affirm that we're proud of them.
And you're also, I know, on such good relationship terms with the survivors of Grenfell, and I know that you've had a really positive response from them to this idea, haven't you?
Well, I guess, Donna, you'll connect to this, having met them so many times. They've come back to me on WhatsApp messages saying, what can we do to help? One a lady is offered with some design or IT skills. And they're really standing with us, and it's just beautiful to see. It's lovely, and we do hope to be able to welcome them back when, hopefully a vaccine makes group travel possible again.
There will be some people naturally concerned, I think, Esme, that welcoming, much as they would want to welcome care workers into their communities, they might be fearful about the health implications.
Yes, well, I think that's a really valid concern, and that's the reason why we will be keeping people as close to where they live or to their workplace as possible. So that's the care that we'll be taking in the matching process. We'll also be giving guidelines to both the providers and the care workers, and they'll be having safe key handovers, socially distanced. But care workers are folk who are some of the most conscious about keeping safe. And I think that we can be really confident that they're going to make sure that the way that they do that is safe for everybody. And, the response we've had so far is from holiday let owners is that they really, really want to help. And of course, it won't be everybody, but there's such a strong vein of compassion out there, and many of them are just saying, I can't bear that my place is empty. Please use it.
How can people find out more, and how can they register if they'd like to?
Yeah, so please go to cornwallhugs.org. There you can find out, you can register as accommodation provider. Care workers will be able to register their need there, and you can also donate there to the Just Giving page. But just go to our Facebook page as well, Cornwall Hugs, and share and comment. And I think just let's get the word out to every corner of the county, because there are well over 300 care homes in Cornwall, 15,500 care workers. There's a really great need. And I think now people are saying, what's going to happen over the next few months? Well, actually, the need for care workers to be able to isolate away from their families is going to increase over these next few months rather than diminish.